All right, and we're live. I don't know if the TikTok one kicked on yet. Uh, you could bear with me. I lost my voice the other day. Out, out for some drinks with friends, and it's 2 nights in a row. Lost my voice, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna go through a lecture. Let's see. TikTok didn't go on yet. Three, two, one. All right, there we go. TikTok's on now too. All right. So, like I said, today going forward with the lives, what I'm thinking is doing a lecture with them. So, I was reading Neville today. I had some thoughts in my head. If you're part of Discord on either one of these, you know, sign up for Discord. You get exclusive access to chatting with me and a good community full of people who are very like-minded, working towards their goals and manifestations. And we've got a whole bunch of other like channels on there for showing your passions, creating like a little social network of people in the same what do you call it, ambition and belief system as ourselves. So if you want to get in on Discord, join it. Speaking of Discord, there's Gary. What's up, brother? So like I said, we're going to go forward with a lecture. I want to base this one in Discord. We did one the other day called "The House Divided Cannot Stand." It was based from the Bible, and actually, I don't even think Neville had nothing on that, but I used Neville references during that live stream. Today, I was reading Neville's book, and I just kind of thumbed through it. I wanted to go off the same thing that we did in Discord, but leaving Discord is something exclusive. Um, I'll touch on it a little, but went right to Neville's book, thumbed through it real quick, and it landed on faith. And I think faith is a very important topic that we should be talking about. Today, I'm not going to do a cigar right now. Both of these channels, there'll be a cigar with Muscular Mystic. I think I'll go live on that account after, and that will just be hanging out, bullshitting, shooting the shit. So wait, in a couple minutes, wait for people to come in, and we'll shoot the shit a little bit here. Turn off this light. There we go. Now it's not too much, not overexposed. But let's see. Yeah, see now I got some people coming in here. This one, TikTok always takes time, and then all of a sudden you get bombarded with people. Sounds good, Courtney. See you in 10. We're over on TikTok as well. Just waiting. Market is going crazy. I'm on with my people. Oh, sounds good. See, there's money manifestation starting out. This is something I talked about the other day too. We get so wrapped up in the specific person, but there's money, career, goals, achievement, so many things in your life that you could be excelling at, pursuing, and manifesting other than, this specific person's the best thing in the world. That's all I need. So other than that, there we go. Making money and excelling in life. I love it. Now we got some people coming in over on TikTok. Welcome in, guys. Nancy, what's up? And like I said, we're going to do a lecture today. It's going to be based on the one we were working on in Discord, but a little bit more lecturing with Neville's book. Let me see, which book was I referencing today? We're going to be Freedom for All is the name of the book, and it's chapter 8, Faith. I flipped through it and I was like, okay, you know what? What do people need to hear? And it's kind of that inspired, like what's going to be here. And it lands on the chapter of faith. I think that's the hardest thing for people in the manifestation community is faith. And now that we got a good group of people coming in, we got 6 people here, we got 2 people there. I like it. I want to just touch on what we started in the Discord the other day. There's a line in the Bible that talks about, and I still got the page open from the Discord the other night. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought into desolation, and a house divided against itself is a house falleth. So Abraham Lincoln once used that, and I used this as a reference for somebody the other day. A house divided is your soul, your spirit, yourself, but it could also be a relationship, or in Abraham Lincoln's situation, it was the whole country. There's a lot of things that the house could represent. But for today's topic, since this is an individual and self-development stuff, we're going to talk about ourselves. That's being double-minded. Your mind cannot serve 2 masters. So if you have a negative, angry, like lacking mindset in your house of yourself, and also a positive, abundant one that believes in manifestation, believes that, whatever you attach to I am is like you're going to be successful with. You have both of those. That's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's the house is divided. That's going to be fighting with yourself all the time. And this is going to move into today's topic of faith. So if you don't have faith that your positivity and your love and your success is guaranteed, you're letting in that double-mindedness, that negativity to seep through. And the faith is what's holding the house together. But that negativity is sawing away at the beams. It's putting holes in the drywall. It's fucking up everything that you have, and it's trying to tear the house down. If one thing's trying to tear the house down, the other one's trying to hold it up. There's no room for it to be built up even better. It's just going to stay the way it is and eventually collapse. So that's what we want to avoid, anything collapsing, which would be walking in faith, which is assuming that you are going to be successful no matter what. Another line that's actually not in anything I was planning on the lecture was, let the weak say I am strong. That's another line from the Bible. And if you wonder why that line is in there, it's sometimes we don't have the confidence in ourselves, but it's an affirmation. That is a line in the Bible advocating for affirmations. Whereas Tony Robbins was calling them the other day, I seen it was incantations, which is a little bit take a step further. You're embodying it, you're feeling it, that you are what you're saying. So if you're weak and you want to get strong, you're going to go to the gym and obviously take the actions, but you could go there and take the wrong actions. You could do the wrong workouts. You could do bullshit that doesn't work, and you could listen to all the wrong people, and you'll be in a bad state. But if you say, I am strong, you go in there feeling stronger. There's a thing. This is something real in the gym. When you go to the gym and you feel weak, when I tore my pec, it's like I was afraid to touch any heavy weight. But when I go in there with my friend, he's saying, you're looking good. You're looking strong. I bet you can lift this weight. And he's hyping me up. And I'm believing it myself. And that's my job as a manifestation coach or life coach, whatever you want to call me. I'm going to tell you that you're strong. I'm going to give you little tasks that I know that you can succeed at. That's what many manifestations are. You're going to have little tasks you can succeed at because that's going to build your confidence. Lifting a light weight a bunch of times and seeing some results from that, and then moving up gradually, you're building confidence in yourself. You're building confidence in what you're working on. So just like in the gym, it's the same with your mindset. You need to slowly build up that strength in yourself. Just like I said, that Bible line, let the weak say I'm strong. You're saying I'm strong. You're saying I'm powerful. You're saying I can do this. This is possible. I have faith in myself. I have faith that the God within me is going to help me get through this. The God looking out for me, right? You have faith in your desired outcome. So much like the gym, you're going to, it's an affirmation. Let the weak say I'm strong. So you are strong. You are brave. You are bold. You do got this. You can't fuck this up. It's all working out in your favor. Remember, all my affirmations, even that, abundant as fuck, right? Everything you want to experience in your life, you are moving forward with. So I'm going to get some coffee and we're going to continue. All right. Like I said, no cigar today because it's going to distract from the time. But over at Muscular Mystic, the other page, we'll go live over there next. So I want to talk about this. So we're going to reference Neville. What I like about Neville is he's going to pull from the Bible for us. So we don't have to go over there. He's got the Bible quotes already here. I'm going to relate them to stuff that you guys can understand. And I'm going to translate. Like a lot of times people told me, I had someone say this the other day, that it's hard to understand some of the Bible quotes and it's hard to understand some of what Neville's saying. So I'm going to break it down to the simplest, like regular people terms that I can. All right. So he starts out, most of Neville's stuff starts out with a Bible quote in the books. And I like the way that this book, if you don't have this book, it's a good book. The Neville Goddard Collection. It's on Amazon. I don't know how much it cost. I bought it a while ago, but it's a really good book to have. It starts out the way it's laid out. I mean, look at this. I hate reading, but the way it's spaced out, it makes it really, really nice. So anyway, it starts out with, and I have it highlighted. I'm only going to read like the stuff I have highlighted just to kick us off. If ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible to you. So this is the traditional biblical parable told by Jesus about moving a mountain. They always hear the line, have faith of a mustard seed, faith of a mustard seed. Nobody really knows what it means. I like what Neville's saying. Actually, it's different than what I was saying. I thought Neville's going to correct me on this. I've always thought faith of a mustard seed was, oh, just have a little bit of faith and it will pay off. No, we're going to get to it, but essentially what he's saying is the mustard seed knows it's the mustard seed and it cannot move, and it does not know anything different than I'm going to move that mountain. That's my job. I'm moving the mountain. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It just knows, oh, this is the job I was given, which is what your mind is. Your mind's given the job, right? You are a manifesting machine. You are a motherfucking mystic manifester, right? You can and you will do whatever you want to do in this life. Cool. Boom. It's going to happen. It has to happen. It has to play out because you don't give yourself a choice. You are the mustard seed who's going to move the mountain. So that's what it's going to get into. I kind of spoiled it, but I wanted to talk about that. And then he moves on to, he has been taught to believe that a mustard seed signifies a small degree of faith. And that, so he naturally wonders why he, as a mature man, should lack this insignificant measure of faith when so small of an amount assures success. So Neville's saying, like, well, why do we need to have a lot of faith when all we have to have is a little? That's what we're ingrained to believe. That's what I believed for the longest time until I read this today. I mean, I've read all his books and listened to all his audios before, but it's like, the nice thing about Neville is every time you listen to him, same thing with the Bible too, you go to the Bible or even the Stoics, there's always another way to look at something. And as long as you're taking a positive outcome from it, there's no right or wrong way on anything. It's just whatever you believe to be true is true, right? So whatever you think is the right meaning for you at the moment. So moving forward, like you said, it's not about the smallest amount. It's about the assuredness in it. And he moves to another Bible quote now. Faith, he is told, is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. Now that is, actually, I have that written down where that was, but that's one of my favorite Bible quotes because that's a manifestation one. And I read it like a million times in another live. I'm going to hit you guys with it again. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. That is visualization. That is feeling, is the secret that is embodying the state that is moving forward with, hey, I know what I want to be. I know who I am, and I'm going to embody that state. So that is becoming and moving to the end and having faith in it before you see anything. You know, like Neville said before in one of his lectures, blind and deafen yourself to the outside world and circumstances, because circumstances do not matter. And this is something, it's cliche. It's every coach says, I'm going to tell you that they don't matter. So it's realizing that God gave us this ability to manifest. Why? We have the ability to manifest for a reason. It's like life is put out, and it's like, if you don't like the way something's going, all right, I can change this. I can move through. It's like a little cheat code is how I look at it. And then he moves to another Bible quote. Through faith, the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which were seen were not made, and things which, hold on, I messed that up. So that things which are seen were not made, things which do appear. So again, talking about before you see them, it's going to appear before you see it, right? So everything begins within the mind. And, you know, even going back to Old Testament stuff, what is Moses saying? Moses is saying that the world, like, whatever you would what is God's name? I am. Why would, that's a really weird name to give. Why don't you just say, name's God? No, it's I am. So whatever you attach to I am becomes that this is the most powerful thing. Whatever you identify with I am is what you become and who you are. So that's why we always say, when we're doing affirmations, that not all of them have to be this way, but if you're doing an affirmation, it helps to say I am, because you are now feeling that you are that person, you are that thing. You are capable of this certain thing. So again, let the weak say, I am strong. It's walking in faith that you are strong. You already got this covered. Neville talks about invisible is made visible. Mustard seed is not a measure of faith. It's not how much you have faith. It's how much you are solidified in being that particular thing or person, or having that desire, that person, whatever it is, how much you're solidified in that. I am not aware of any other seed in this world. It's talking about, like, if you're the mustard seed, you're not aware of anything else. I'm not aware of the person saying, I can't do this. I'm not aware of the person saying that, you know, that, oh, this hasn't happened for me, so it's not going to happen for you. I'm not aware of any of those negative circumstances or things people have to say. I'm only aware of what I want and who I am. And there is no negativity because I am who I am. Again, that's the most cliche thing. It's funny enough. You know, I wrote that on the whiteboard the other day, and I was explaining manifesting to somebody who was over, and I was like, I am who I am. And and my mom walked in one day and goes, that's Popeye's line. And I was like, oh shit, that's a Bible line. But so Popeye's going around with an affirmation of I am who I am. And he's supposed to be the little weak guy compared to Pluto, but he's the strong guy too. So he's saying, I am strong. I am who I am, and I am strong, and I'm going to eat my spinach. Spinach is his there. Like, I'm coming up with stuff right on the spot right here. He's eating his spinach. That's his manifestation technique. Either that's his visualization, his affirmation, whatever it is. He eats that spinach and he's good to go because he is who he is. And it helps him solidify that belief because he's strong right off the bat. But then when he takes his spinach, he's even stronger, right? So that's him solidifying and using something to help himself feel stronger. Anyway, moving back to this. I do kind of like this, where I'm going to try to move to, reading Neville's books and taking stuff from the Bible because, like Nancy mentioned it to me the other day, it is helpful when I'm translating it to you guys. And I'm coming from this manifestation standpoint. So I hope it helps. And if you guys like it, let me know. I'll continue to do these. The mustard seed, what's it called? And just like the mustard seed, we are humans sealed in the womb in consciousness of being man and only man. So we are not the mustard seed, obviously. We're man, we're woman, we're whatever. We're people. We're human beings. But we're solidified in who we are as that human being. And the nice thing is you get to change. You get to say, I no longer identify with this. I identify with this. You get to change the type of person you are. But the thing you can't change is that you are a creator and that you are one who, create. You're a creator and you're one who creates, right? You can't change that, but you could change the type of creator you are. Like, oh, I'm creating negatively or I'm creating positively. That's your choice. You get to say, I'm looking for the best in people. I'm looking for the worst. I'm looking for the best in business opportunities. I'm looking for the worst. I'm either a pessimist or what did I say? A realist is a pessimist in disguise, right? A pessimist who doesn't want to sound like a pessimist, but you're either an optimist or a pessimist. So the mustard seed is the only true measure of faith necessary to accomplish every objective. You too must lose yourself to the consciousness of being only the thing desired. Now, this is the part where I'm saying a house divided cannot stand. You cannot still be the old man and the new man at the same time. You're trying to become somebody new, but leaving that old part of yourself, the negative, doubtful part, that's destroying. It's wearing away at the house that you're building for yourself, the house that you live in. And that's the thing. It's like, Greg Plitt said this many years ago before he passed away when it comes to working out. He's like, your body is something you don't get to short sale. You don't get to sell it. You don't get to change it up, but you can rehab it. You can make it better. So it's the same thing with your mind. You don't get to get some new mind. It's like, I want something new. Somebody sell me this good, positive thinking brain. No, but you can rebuild yours. You can make it better. You could get fat or be skinny and build yourself into a muscular version of yourself, or lose the weight, or become the person you want. You can change your body. You can change your mind. That's something you have absolute control over. Let's go to Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius talks about you have no control over things that happen outside of you, but you have control over one thing, and that's what's right between your ears and your eyes. That's your mind. You have control over that, absolute control. You change how you're going to react to situations by looking for the best way and how everything's working out in your favor. Why do you think I say everything's working out in your favor? And then somebody will hit me up with, hey, I was manifesting this, but now the opposite happened. And then I'll tell you a story about how I was manifesting so-and-so, and then blah, blah, blah happened. And then guess what? If it wasn't for blah, 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 so-and-so wouldn't have done blah, 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 and then done this, and I wouldn't have had it, So I'm going to go with those stories. Sometimes the best times of our life come right after the ugliest times. And if it were not for those ugliest times, we wouldn't have had that. Also, we wouldn't become the men and women that we are if it were not for those negative times. Those negative times create that. Sometimes it's that final push, that pressure of life that builds you into that version of yourself. So with that, taking a deep breath. I'm almost I feel like I'm rushing through it because I'm still new to the lecturing thing. Usually we're sitting here, we're just bullshitting. I'm having a cigar, I'm having coffee, taking questions, and going from there. But like I said, I keep repeating it throughout the thing. The Muscular Mystic, TikTok and YouTube. There's two of them. I think it's under my name, Nick Leahy, on YouTube. I still got to fix that. But take a look over there after, because we'll have the cigar and another cup of coffee, and we'll shoot the shit there, answer manifesting questions, life questions, all that. We'll talk about getting these vlogs up and going again. I'm like a week behind on them. But anyway, faith is feeling or living in the consciousness of being the thing desired. So what I'm doing too is when I go through Neville's books, when I go through the Bible, I'm taking out a very basic line and we're going to break it down. And faith, I'm going to repeat it again too, because sometimes the more you hear something, the better you get at it. Like, I don't like to make videos on the same topic again and again. As you could tell, TikTok, you guys are very starved for muscular mystic and mystic manifesting content, because I was like, if I did it already, I don't want to do it again. I don't like That's the creative side of me. I don't like repeating stuff, but repetition, that's why affirmations work. That's why repeatedly doing your visualizations work. That's you're asking for something again and again. So sometimes it does help. So I'm gonna repeat the line again. Faith is feeling or living in the consciousness of being the thing desired. That's living in the end. And where's the other line? He's got it right down here. So, like I said, I'm just moving through this, taking down things that are important. How would you feel if you were which you desired to be? That is the core essence of manifestation. That is the core of what life is. How do you feel when you become the thing or you have what you desire? You want to be in a certain relationship. How does that feel in the morning? Okay, because you're checking in with your mind all day, whether you know it or not. This is why, having a coach or a manifesting partner at times helps, because they might be able to see something you don't, because you're blind to it at times. But the more you do it, the more you train, just like working out. You could go into a gym and say, I'm feeling, I gotta do this today. Like, my back hurts. So let me hit chest today. I don't want to do any more pulling workouts. I'm gonna do a push workout because my back is sore. So you're not going to go hit the same muscle again and again and again. You do what feels right for you as you're moving along. Same thing with this. What feels right to you? So you check in, like you're checking in with your body all the time and where you are physically. You're also checking in with your mind. Okay, where am I at mentally today? Mentally, if I were to think about my desire, you want a so-and-so relationship, right? And it's not there right now. If you wake up in the morning and you're in that relationship, where is SP? Specific person, right? Where's this relationship at? She's in bed right next to you. He's in bed right next to you, whatever it is. Whatever you're manifesting, man, woman, whatever. They're in bed right next to you. Cool. You're making coffee, breakfast, whatever, getting ready to go to work. Oh, they're still in bed. Remember, I did this shit. And I'm with that person. And I wake up on Saturdays and that same situation I played out is there. I go into work, person's in the bed. I don't look back. Now I do, but it's different, but a little bit. But things play out always. And that's just in terms of relationship, right? It's like one point, I want to look a certain way. Do I still have a lot of improvement that I want to do? Yeah, hell yeah. I'm bulking up right now. I don't want to have this fucking gut when summertime rolls around. But that's one of those things. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I got to get a little bit fat to put on some size to get to what I need. And in the end, yeah, that ugly fucking fatness is going to fall off while summertime comes around and I go to step on stage again. So there's an ugly time that could come first, but really what you're doing is throughout the day. Oh, you're at work. I'm at work, but I'm a businessman. Hey, I'm just picking up some extra money. Or another one I would do, I was at a job I didn't like. I'm like, I would try to make the feeling, how does today feel? I don't want to go do this job. I don't want to have to do this or that. I would say, today's my last day. Holy shit. And like, you just feel, I'm like, how does it feel if it's my last day? Oh, I would feel good like this. And eventually it's just like, you could drop into it on a dime. Boom, I feel, fight with it a little. If it was my last day, I would feel like this. I would act like this. I'll be like, hey, you know what? And towards the end, I'm not gonna lie, I half-assed a lot of jobs. And it took 6 months to manifest. Where people, that takes so long. Okay, yeah, but I was willing to do whatever it took and wait as long as it took to feel that I am that person in the end. And it took a while to impress my subconscious that I was the person out of that job, and I had a job on day shift, and I had a better job that, like, with all the same benefits and everything I asked for down to the T, I got in the new job. So why wouldn't it work for something else? Oh, I want to be a successful online influencer. Okay, why would it not work? If it worked for that, why would it not work here? Why does it work for other people and not you? That's the question you need to start asking yourself. Why does this work for somebody else and not me? Because that's bullshit. If it worked for somebody, it will work for you. Like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. All the things I've done, you can do too. All the things I'm going to do, you can do too, because things I want to do, somebody else has already done them. And I don't think anybody's any better than me or any better than you. We're all conditioned the same. We all have the same tool at our disposal, and it's our mind. And like I said, your mind and your body are things you have complete control over that you can change and you can work on. So that's why you can make these things happen. Anyway, I feel like I get winded when I'm doing these. I'm like, getting lost on an idea and rambling off sometimes. But let me continue. It's the only thing growing out the fucking beard and we get coffee in it the whole time. And my mustache. Anyway, listen. If someone hears, and I think I've seen her on TikTok, you'll know who I'm saying. Listen to me. The next thing I want to talk about is, basing off this. Neville says, you wear the mood, this feeling that would be yours if it was already which you desired to be. And in a little while, You will be sealed in the belief that you are. Then, without effort, this invisible state will objectify itself, and the invisible will be made visible. So he's talking about wearing the mood. That's what I'm trying to say. What is the mood that I no longer work the shitty job I'm in? Every day is my last day. So I don't care. I'm not the day, and the bosses and the assholes there cannot break you because you're already done. It's your last day. Think about it. When you put your 2-week notice in somewhere, how does it feel? I had put in a 2-week notice at another part of my life. So I knew how it felt in your last 2 weeks. Now make every day feel that way. Try to recapture that feeling. It's a different place, different people, whatever. You get better at building that case around it. Maybe it's something you never had. Maybe it's like a relationship you never had. You start building how you think it would feel. And when it comes to pass, a lot of those feelings will still be there. There'll be some new stuff that happens. But for the most part, that core essence that you built around, that's still there. How would it feel? Like when I did, what's it called? When I wound up doing the bodybuilding show, right? I had an idea how that bodybuilding show was going to feel, how it would feel to step on the stage, the sun, the guy who was promoting it. I seen his face online. I imagined shaking his hand, talking with him, having a good conversation, meeting Tom Platz. Like I'm like, I don't know. I feel like me and this guy are just going to click. When I met Tom Platz, it's like we talked for like 2-3 hours. Like not like we just hit it off. Boom, boom, boom. I'm talking manifesting. He's talking manifesting. We're talking religion. It's like bodybuilding. Like we're on the same page. So like everything I visualized, and I had inner conversation with him every day doing my cardio on my fasted cardio in the mornings. So it's like cardio is a great way to do affirmations and inner conversations because you'll focus on anything other than what you're doing to keep your mind off the cardio. You'll focus on what you need to be focusing on. No one can stop this conscious state in which you are sealed from embodying itself, nor question its right to be. What's Neville's line from his lecture? Not one man or a million can stand in your way. Everybody will play their part to bring you your desire. And that's true. You know, when I wanted to be promoted at the one job, I knew that nobody else was going to work out. Even though they passed me up, they were going to hire outside and give my job to somebody else. What happened? They hired another guy who was close friends with the boss, supposedly like this. Within 2 weeks, the dude's like, fuck this guy. Fuck him, I'm out. And he left. Then I'm like, can I move up? No. They hire another guy. The guy almost makes his 3-month probation, gets fired the last week of the 3 months. Boom. Like, I move forward again. It's like, oh, I'm like, this time I won't ask. They're going to tell me I'm going to get promoted. Like, okay, this time we're going to promote you. However, we're going to promote you after this guy's been trained for blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then time's going on. I'm like, you know what? I mean, I had the answer. I was going to get it, but I'm like, I'm going to go somewhere else. So towards the end of that time, I found somewhere else with boom, 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 every single thing I wanted. And I was treating every day for those last 6 months that I was leaving. So basically, on my way out, wait, you're going to get promoted. No, never mind. Fuck you. I'm out. So I did get what I wanted. Eventually, it did come to pass. And then at the job where I went to, they would never hire somebody my age. That's a position for an old guy. But it was people had to leave and they had to get pressured. And then there was a thing where it's like everything lined up perfectly. Everything works out in your favor when you let it. When you stop resisting it or looking for why it won't work out, you'll find it working out in your favor. Because what you seek, you find. If you look for reasons things are garbage and they're not going to work out, you will always find reasons. I could even break it right down to a relationship. You know, everybody's got relationship questions. It's like my relationship every time, like, you know, the story, if you're on TikTok and you're new to it, it's like, hey, what made me popular on YouTube was, okay, manifest the SP back 5 times, right? Well, if you manifest an SP back 5 times, what's the common problem? It's like, well, when I'm thinking this way, this is happening. If I'm thinking about these negative things that happened in the past, those negative things seem to repeat themselves. If I'm thinking about these negative conversations, they seem to repeat themselves. If I'm thinking about these great memories, new memories become created are very similar to those. If I'm thinking about great conversations, these deep conversations with that person, that relationship, those things repeat. Same thing with a friendship, a job, anything. Like everyone is you pushed out. That's, you know, it says that, like, you could interpret that from the Bible. You could interpret, I mean, Neville straight out telling you that, and that's what he interpreted from the Bible. That's what I interpreted from it. It's everyone is you pushed out, because if God lives within the mind of man, then he's living within the mind of all the people on earth, which means we are all connected through some way. Why is it that when you think this person's thinking this, they're thinking this, and you're repeatedly thinking that, you're putting that thought transmission to them, and they're feeling that? Just like Neville tells a story about the guy, like, telling the editor, oh, you're going to say the story's fabulous, and the guy never says the word fabulous, but then he says fabulous, and then he says, oh, you're going to say this, and then the guy says that. You're putting certain thoughts. There's stuff where, I mean, I've had someone was visualizing me saying something to them about our group meditations, I was never big on group meditation, but then one day I started seeing all these videos about it. I didn't know that same morning when I was like, you know what, I'm going to put a group meditation in the Discord, which, by the way, if you're in Discord, we do group meditations and people have been getting some success off it. So I really like that. We've only done 2 or 3 of them, but I was thinking about it all day. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll try it tonight. Then I have a session before we went live, and he tells me about it. And he goes, you know, I was scripting and I was going to tell you and I was going to convince you. I'm like, but at the end, you were impressed that like what you wrote was going to be enough to convince me, and that scripting was going to convince me. And you didn't have to do anything. I was already going to do it because it felt natural and normal to me. So that's being on the receiving end. Everyone's going to want to play their part in your life and what you desire, and it will feel natural to them and they'll be happy with it. That's what I've experienced as well. Now we'll move on to, for man being so seated and saying, I am so and so, and the word of God, or my fixed conscious state, is spirit and cannot return to me void, but must accomplish whereunto it is sent. God's word, your conscious state, must embody itself that you may know it. And through this, he backs up that claim. He moves that claim down to the lines from the Bible. The Bible says, I am the Lord, there is no God besides me. So if our name is I am, and I am lives within you, and God lives within you, okay, cool. There's no one beside you, which means nobody else can influence your thoughts or your life or persuade you from what you want to do. And everyone is going to show up the way that you expect them to. But you have to be conscious of what you're thinking. Sometimes we don't realize that we're thinking negatively about others. Because if we are, then what's going to happen? We're going to naturally be met with, they don't want to talk to us. They're treating us like shit. It will be naturally met that way. Another Bible quote he brings up was, the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. So if God creates off what he's saying and his words create, and we have the same power and we're also I am, our words create. Why do you think affirmations work? Why do you think everything that I already knew that was going to happen. I expected that shit to happen. Why do you think that played out? Why do you think it did? Because your words create. The word was made flesh. The physical manifesting machine that you are is in flesh. It is yourself. It is the ability God gave you to come to this earth and do. And then he sent his word and healed him. Again, it's like, by your words you are healed, by your words you are made sick. That's another line too. It's like, I mean, you go on all day, you go through this, you go back to people have always known that this stuff that your word creates and your beliefs create, whatever you have faith in, whatever you believe in, that's going to work. I mean, that's why I said, whatever technique works for you, you write the rules of this game of life. The only rule is that things are always changing. So, but coincidentally, what's always changing? Your mind. As your mind changes, so is the world. I made that one up too. I put the change it on there because it sounds a little more fancy. We're approaching the end of this chapter, but I wanted to lecture on this chapter a little bit because it's about faith, and it's something I think that a lot of us lack in this, because you're going back and forth. You're becoming dual-minded, but you can't be dual-minded because, again, just like our lecture the other day, a kingdom divided, a house divided cannot stand. It will fall apart. To send the word on its way. Now, this is going to be a little paragraph here, but he's giving you instructions. In one paragraph, you can tell somebody how to manifest, but there's so many other questions that come with it. It is the simplest and most complicated thing in the world, because we have this inner doubt of ourselves and our ability to do this, because we're trained by the world that, no, life is the way it is. What is my least favorite line? YouTube, you know it. What do I hate the most? TikTok, you guys might not know because I'm not on here as much, but what is my least favorite line? It is what it is. That's the most fucking bullshit. It is what it is. That's the reality of things. That's just life. Fuck those lines. Life is what you make it. It is what you make it. It is not, it is what it is. It is what you make it, because you could turn a negative into a positive. What you seek, you find. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right? That's how this works. Your mind is more powerful than you know. Every thought, every thought put out must not return to you void. It will return to you with your desire. That is how the world works. I could tell you as a walking testament of it, good, bad, and ugly, I have manifested it all. And when you look at where your thoughts were when the negative happens, you did it. You know you did. But then people get upset. Oh, why did I manifest this bad? Sometimes you didn't know. That's fine. It's fine if you manifested something bad. Realizing that you did, it's like, okay, cool. Because I had the power to let that negativity out in the world, I also have the power to cage it and to create good. You can do both. And oftentimes we are trained by society and the world to look for the worst and say, well, it is what it is. That's just the reality of life. That's how the world works. No, that's how you were told it works. So that's how you started looking for it. And that's what you saw. And that's what you experienced. But when you listen to like Neville, or you actually read the Bible and what Jesus is saying, and when you read Marcus Aurelius, and when you read these ancient Stoics, and when you read the Tao Te Ching, when you read what the Buddhist people are saying, when you read all this different stuff, it is talking about going within the self. Even Jesus talks about the single eye, just like, what is that? The third eye. Just like William Donahue talks about, he's like it's the mix of all this stuff. Everything ties together: psychology, religion, spirituality, stoicism. All of it ties together. And what does it come down to? That you are the creator of your universe. God gave you the name I am to create with. When people say I am, there's so much power behind it. So take that power and walk in faith on it. Now, that would have been a good way to end it, wouldn't it? But I didn't end it there. So I'm going to give you this last part. I got 3 more things highlighted here. But he's going to give you real quick, how do you manifest? To send the word on its way. If our word creates, we're sending it on its way. Simply do this. Sit quietly where you are and assume the mental attitude of listening. So you're sitting down, you're picturing yourself sitting and hearing something. Like I'm sitting down here, and maybe I'm FaceTiming somebody that I know through the channel, and I'm going to hear their voice. I could hear it as well as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to visualize or see the person perfectly. You don't have to hear the words perfectly, but you got to have the feeling. The feeling is the secret, which is Neville's other book, Feeling is the Secret. We're embodying it. You recall your friend's voice with this familiar voice established in your consciousness, because you already know how their voice sounds. And personally, you get a feeling from that voice. Imagine that you are actually hearing his voice and that he is telling you that he is or has what you wanted him to be or to have. He's talking about manifesting on behalf of another, but it works just as well for yourself. Impress upon your consciousness the fact that you already heard him and that he told you what you wanted to hear. Feel the thrill of having heard that. Then drop it completely, which is what I said, detachment. Detachment is not quitting, it is walking in faith. You have done the work, you can walk away. Oftentimes, detachment is quitting in a way because you get burned out and you're like, fuck it, this don't work, I'm out. But really what you did was you surrendered that prayer, that belief. It's like, I did what I needed to do, and you accidentally brought it in because you did the next step. Drop it completely. Somebody tells me something really good that I want to hear. I'm excited about it in that moment, in that conversation. And then I get in my car, I'm still feeling happy. But then I'm like, oh shit, now I got to go do this and this and this. I'm not thinking about that conversation anymore. Maybe before bed, it will pop up in my head again, which was the most powerful time, before bed and right when you wake up, manifest. So you go home, and then going back and recounting the events of the day, you recount that thing. But it never physically happened. You visualized it, went about your day after dropping it, remembered it before bed, just like you would if it was something that happened already in real life. I heard you say what I wanted to hear you say, and I remembered it before bed. But the rest of my day is not. There's nothing that's going to make you think about it all day long. But maybe there's something crazy. I mean, one of the ones that popped up in my head was like when my mom was sick, and like I used the remember when technique, when the doctor's like basically, hey, she's done, she's checked out. It's like, no, I remember when she was sick, but she's not sick anymore. She's on vacation right now, justifying where she is, impressing the mind. And it was one of those things when you have that life or death situation. Now, it does not fucking matter. It's like, I don't have time to question manifesting. I don't have time to question if anything is possible. You have no other choice. Am I going to sit here and cry and expect it? Because in that case, I'm solidifying the fact that this is already a reality. No, I'm going to fight it with every fiber of my being. And there's no way to physically fight it, just like a nightmare. You don't physically fight it. You go back in there and go fight that nightmare. What it's going to do, you're going to get your ass whooped. So you're not going back in there to fight a bad dream. So you wouldn't go back and fight something that you heard like a negative word. It's word against word now. Now you use your creative word. And don't worry about what if it doesn't work. What do you have to lose? That's where you have no choice but to walk in faith. You don't have nothing else to lose. If you've already been told that, hey, shit's over, what do I have to lose by being positive, right? Think about that. And then I like this part. This is the mystic's secret for sending the words into expression of making the words flesh. You are the word made flesh, and you have words that you can make flesh. You can bring things into existence. That is the gift that God gave man. That is what we have and what we can all do. If it wasn't possible, I wouldn't be showing my face talking like a fucking madman online. If I didn't experience what I experienced and avoided being called to talk about this shit for so long, I wouldn't be talking about it. So there's go online. There's so many fucking success stories. Your consciousness is the Lord speaking through the familiar voice of a friend, impressing yourself that which you desire, that of which you desire to hear. So your consciousness, the God that you're sending forward, and you're hearing back what you would love God to give you in life through your friend's voice. Again, everybody is you pushed out. Everybody is an aspect of God. We're all one. That's why you can't hate anybody. That's why you got this unconditional love for people, or you should. It's hard, but easier said than done. As you succeed in making the impression, you will be unmoved by appearances, for this self-impression is sealed as a grain of mustard seed and will in due season mature to its full expression. So whatever you believe that you are going to achieve, you will, because you are solidified. I am the mustard seed and I move mountains. That's it. That's what I do. That's who I am. There's no other choice. Just like, hey, you are who you are and you do this thing that you want to do. You have no choice. It's going to happen because you have the ability. That is who you are in your nature, the person who can create. So with that, I mean, that's the end of the chapter. I just wanted to talk about faith. I want to talk about keeping the house undivided, being like united in your mind and not double-minded. And perfect. It's like the last bit of coffee too is, everything just kind of ties together here. And yeah, I forgot. I lost my voice. I don't know how noticeable it is, but I just saw a text message from a voice message I sent earlier saying you sound like Darth Vader, and it's like, yeah, that's what hours of screaming at a bar with fucking music blasting is going to do to you. But we had no choice. I'm the mustard seed who makes these fucking live streams, and we had to do it. Somebody had to do it. Fucking spit coffee all over myself. Jesus Christ. Ugh. But no, I was going to quote that meme. Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. All right, let's continue. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the lecture that I had planned. But I think it's a little bit more on point than last week's one. I was happy with it. We got a lot more viewers on YouTube than we usually do. I'm happy about that. Actually threw TikTok on today. So thank you guys on TikTok who tuned in. Appreciate you guys. Now that TikTok's been saved, maybe I should actually not take it for granted and post more on here and post more clips. So with that, we're going to take some questions. If you guys got questions here, you got questions over there, we'll take a look. Let me look down here. So you manifested the text from your specific person, and it was on your birthday. So you said the next thing you said, maybe it was just a coincidence. What did we just talk about? There is no coincidence. Your thoughts created. You desired to speak with this person. You desired to have this contact, and you did. You got it. Like Neville says, things happen so normal and seamlessly that you would have asked yourself, would this have happened anyway? That's true. You would like the way things manifest in the life. It's like they happen so naturally. It's like, oh, that would have happened anyway. But like you said, there's no contact for months, and all of a sudden you contact on your birthday, and then you're thinking maybe it would have happened anyway. Unless that person misses you, they don't give a fuck. If you really get told like, hey, I don't want to see you again, we're broken up, we're done, that person's not going to message you on your birthday. They're not going to message you on Christmas. I got dumped right before Christmas before. Like that, you don't get no Christmas message. Or out there being satisfied by somebody else. I'm telling you this, I'm not saying for your thing, but for mine, that's what it was. So the fact that you've been doing all this inner work and believing that relationship's going to happen and believing that you're going to it's going to manifest into existence, and then you get a text message and you say, well, that would have happened anyway. Well, you just took the magic and the creativity and the power away from yourself. And you said, what can I imagine? An example of living in the end so that I have a better chance of manifesting her back and sooner rather than later. Well, what's my one affirmation? I'm no more than 2 weeks away from a miracle. That doesn't attach yourself to a time crunch of I'm going to have this specific person by a certain date, because if you do that and it doesn't happen, you break yourself. If you're not strong enough to do it, then you'll break yourself by that time. You got the fucking message. That's more than some people who that means you're putting the work in. It means you're visualizing and you're believing and you know you got it. But then you defeat yourself immediately. What indicates that you're together again? You could revise the birthday and say you spent it together, because then that will probably bring it where next birthday you are together. You can say, what's the next big holiday? Valentine's. You can visualize spending Valentine's together. Now, be aware, you're now put on a time crunch. If it doesn't happen on a time crunch, because remember, I did that before, and it happened like a week after Valentine's Day, and the following Valentine's Day we were together. But you got to remember, if you break, then you've set yourself back. You don't want to set yourself up for failure, because if you don't believe it, it's going to break you. But you could visualize, if you truly believe, if you have that faith of a mustard seed that I am, and I am who I am, and I create, and what I say is what it is, and you go forward and you say, all right, I'm going to manifest this specific person by Valentine's Day, it can happen. I'm no more than 2 weeks away from a miracle. I desire SP, so she desires me. You go back and you dwell on the memory of like getting that text message, and you say, like, if I'm thinking about her, she's thinking about me. If I desire you, you desire me. These are all my favorite affirmations that I used, and you're doing those and you're moving forward with them. It is going to happen. It's got to play through. Or say, oh, maybe Easter. There's another thing. Or picture by summertime. Summertime is a general area. There's 3-4 months there. All right, you're at the beach together. You're enjoying the beach. You're talking about, oh, remember when we were broken up? Oh my God, I missed you so much. This and that. Go through those scenes. Now, I could give you ideas. I don't know your situation specifically, but if you know it better than everyone else, so you know the conversations, you know how this person speaks. Like Neville said, go back and imagine how they speak to you. You know their voice, you know their tone, you know how they speak. Go through and listen to that and embody how it feels. You're sitting there on a beach, maybe listening to her say how much she had missed you. I had done that, but I pictured a bed in a hotel room. It was a little bit different, but it happened. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, let me know, because as we wrap up this, we're taking the time for questions and silence and stuff like that right now. But as we're wrapping up, I'm going to go to the Muscular Mystic YouTube page. So hopefully, I mean, we got a lot of viewers over here on YouTube. Hopefully you guys go over. It's probably under Nick Leahy or Muscular Mystic. I'm going to share the link over there. You guys over here, there is a TikTok page called Muscular Mystic. That is my other page. I will probably go live there as well. And we'll go forward from there. I'm going to have my cigar. Take another hour. We're just going to shoot the shit, hang out, and go from there. I'll probably make another cup of coffee. But we'll take the final 3 minutes. Any questions on anything? It's long-winded and with no voice either. Pretty good. What do I talk about? I don't know. I've never gone live on there. We're going to figure it out. I'm Muscular Mystic. What do I talk about? I don't know. We haven't done it yet. So it's just going to be probably shooting the shit. It's going to be manifesting, working out, the vlogs, funny stuff, funny stories. I guess that's the closest thing to streaming I'll have at the moment. Because I do got some vlogs I want to post on there. I've been posting some videos on the TikTok for that page. And it's just like, well, we could take questions there too. I mean, at the end of the day, who am I? I'm motherfucking Mystic Manifesting, so I'm going to be talking about manifesting, obviously. Yeah, you can get weightlifting advice too. I mean, it's going to be working out, mysticism, religion, manifesting, all that stuff. It'll be over there. So if you guys haven't subscribed, go subscribe. Follow me over there. I want to make more videos similar to like what I already do at Mystic Manifesting. You know, double down. There's 2 channels. Now you have twice the chance, because rumor is I'm getting shadow banned on YouTube. So they don't know about Muscular Mystic yet. That's just a workout page. Maybe when they see the cigar, they'll get butthurt about it and ban me, but not yet. But yeah, we got about a minute left, and we'll conclude what we got. Thank you everyone here who's joined over on what is this, TikTok? Yeah, over on TikTok. Thank you guys for joining. If you want Muscular Mystic over here, you guys know it. I'm gonna hang up on TikTok first, because you know YouTube's always been the number one. But if you guys want, subscribe on YouTube. There's tons and tons of videos on YouTube about manifesting and manifesting your specific person and manifesting success in life and blah blah blah. Everything you can imagine, it's there. So with that, love you guys over here very much, and I'll talk to you guys later. How do I even turn this one? There we go. We got 155 views on there. That's pretty impressive. But anyway, we're in our final 20 seconds here. I love you guys very much. You can't fuck this up. It's all working out in your favor. Hopefully, you're walking in faith now. I have faith you're walking in faith now, and you know that anything is possible. So I hope to see you over on Muscular Mystic. I'll be over there. With that, I'll see you next Monday, and get my lazy ass making some videos, as I say every week. And I haven't done it yet, but I got all day. See you later.